since the award of that order, we've seen the stock price move up by nearly 25%. It was hovering at 461 towards the end of last week, and now as we speak, it's at 570 plus. Sonal, why is this case so important for Kiri Industries? And if you could just, walk us through the timeline and the contours.
Absolutely, Reema. It is an important case for the company, and that's why the excitement in the stock price. Just to give you a background, it was back in 2010 that Kiri had acquired Dystar, which is a global dye company, and they had done it in a joint venture with another company, Senda Group, or the Longshan company, which is a Chinese counterpart. And yesterday, finally, Singapore International Commercial Court announced order with respect to Dystar case, because do remember, back in the day, although Dystar was making substantial profits, Kiri Industries was not paid anything out of the same, and that's why they went ahead and initiated legal proceedings in the High Court of Republic of Singapore. And the case has been going on for a long time, and finally the case order has come out, where the focus of the proceedings was in valuation of Dystar as a whole and Kiri's share in Dystar valuation. They hold around 37.5% stake, and now the other counterpart, that is Senda International, has to buy out that 37.5% stake of Kiri Industries in Dystar. And finally, court has decided base value of Dystar at $1.6 billion, and the court shall provide a final number on value of Kiri's in Dystar in 28 days. But what does that really mean for the company is something we will discuss with Manish Kiri, who is the MD of Kiri Industries, who is joining us now. Mr. Kiri, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us. As I stated that this particular order is quite important for you as a company, can you tell us what does it really mean? Are you happy with the valuations that the court order has given? And in terms of your stake, how much would that be valued as per this order?
This order has come after a legal battle of almost 6 years, and the number is a fair number. 1.6 billion, what we believe court has decided as a decent number. And when you do a math based on the formula given by the court, we expect that based on our internal calculation, that it would range somewhere between $450 to $500 million for Kiri to receive from this order. Again, the exact number would be submitted within 28 days by the valuer, giving the arithmetic in the directions the court has given a guidance for. But this is the range of the number that Kiri will receive. It's a large number for the company, and it will provide Kiri to go to the next stage, to change its platform, and to enter into businesses to expand itself. So it's an important judgment, and it would be an important proceed for Kiri to go to the next level of business.
So $450 to $550 million. So will this be the final order, or can there be litigation from here?
This order is from International Commercial Court, and as you rightly said, which is at the same level as Singapore High Court. So the appeal court is a Supreme Court in this case, and we are expecting, if the appeal is filed, then it would take another 4 to 6 months time based on our prior experience. So there is an appeal provision, and if the opposition party goes to appeal, it would be another 4 to 6 months time.
Okay, so there is a scope for an appeal from the opposition party. Mr. Kiri, can you also tell us, earlier in the order when it was passed, the court also said that Kiri Industries will have to pay some compensation charges. Do they stand? If yes, what is the quantum? And do you think that $450 to $550 million is an achievable amount or an agreeable amount by the court?
This is the amount which is being ordered by the court by giving a fixed number of the baseline valuation. And if you look at the order, it is between Kiri and Senda, which is Longshan subsidiary, and that's a significant amount. Now, if you talk about the other order for the other case, which was between Kiri and Dystar, not between Kiri and Senda. So here two parties are different parties, even though Dystar is a joint venture between two companies. And that amount was, if I remember correctly, post Supreme Court revisioning that amount, it was little bit lesser than $300,000. So if that amount which is less than 500,000, and this amount has no comparison at all. It's totally a different level of the compensation or the buyout to be paid by sender according to this order.
Sir, this case has been going on and on. We remember even discussing this a couple of years back. Are you confident that the matter will come to rest, if not immediately, at least in the next 4 to 6 months?
This is the last phase of litigation, and there is nothing beyond this. So if you look at the 6 years battle we went through, first court decided whether there was a minority operation, whether case suppressed or not. So that was the first decision. And whether buyout order is a right remedy or not. So that was the decision taken by the court in 2018. Then court also decided what could be the valuation criteria. And then the valuation took place. So entire process which went into 3 steps, that's why it took such a long time. And I don't think there is any further step beyond this. This would be the final number which is now arriving. And there is no next step as per the court process besides appeal if the counterparty goes to appeal.
Okay. Mr. Kiri, last question before we let you go, sir, on the business. How is it right now? Because the first half has been quite painful. Has demand bounced back? What are the pricing that you are looking at right now? Have prices also moved up in third quarter? And what is the outlook for the remainder of the year?
In third quarter, our prices in general terms has gone up by almost 10%. Demand is reviving faster than expected. We are hoping that this quarter and next quarter both would be positive and much better than the first half. And we are expecting business to revive faster in these 2 quarters before we end the financial year.
Okay. All right, Mr. Kiri, thank you so much for joining us with all those details. We will speak to you after this quarter ends. Thank you so much for joining. All right, that's the word coming in from Kiri Industries. They're expecting a compensation of around $450 to $550 million. That's almost double their market cap. So let's see if they actually get this compensation or not. But it's time to slip into a short break. But before we do that, here's something that your viewers